welcome back to the Samantha Show. I'm your host, Samantha. You can call me Sam. Just don't call me Sammy. And I am here with the beautiful Calliope, all the way from, it's Long Island, right? You're in Long Island?
Long Island, New York.
Long Island, New York feels like such a make-believe place to me. Like, I feel like it's something you hear on TV shows.
I
And
know. I felt like everybody thought I was from Jersey. That's why I always say, like, anytime, like, New York, New York.
So wait, Long Island, New Jersey, are they near each other? How's the I'm really bad with my geographical layout of that part of the country.
Like they're still like an hour and a half drive. Like you have to still pass the city to get to New Jersey. It's like Long Island, the city and the bridges, all that, cross the water, get to New Jersey.
Perfect. Now I know. Yes. Well, Calliope is with us today. She is an instructor with Cycle Bar, lead instructor with Cycle Bar at her studio. She is a former teammate of mine, and she also works for Expo. She's an X-Pro, which means that she streams virtual rides. So if you got a bike at home, you can ride with her, which is amazing. And I'm here to talk to Calliope today because if you go check out this woman on Instagram, she is stunning. She's got it going on. She's just absolutely so much fun. She's full of life. And she had shared recently on Instagram about her struggle in the past with depression and anxiety. And immediately I kind of paused and I was like, Calliope, like she's got it all together. And so I thought it was really amazing to see her open up about that. So I've invited her on here today to talk to us a little bit more about that, because I think that sometimes we struggle, us people, humans, more than we know. And so it's so nice to kind of hear from other people who've gone through things like with mental health, depression, anxiety. So that's why Calliope's here. But before we get into it, Calliope, would you share with us 3 things that people need to know? That's how we kick off every show. What is the first thing that the people need to know?
I feel like I always start off, which a lot of people know, the fact that I'm Greek. Both of my parents are from Greece, and my dad is literally off the boat. Like he took a boat to get here.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so very, very big Greek family.
That's right.
That's the first thing that I feel like it's so important for people to know.
Yes, you are. And I remember seeing, from your wedding celebration, like what I imagined very Greek celebration and experience may be. And so did your parents, did they meet in the US or did they come over from Greece together?
They met in the US like through family, but coincidentally, they're from the same island and the towns are like only 10 minutes apart, which is very strange because like you kind of go up a mountain and pass like all these towns. And we're like only one town apart, which is funny, but
that's wonderful. I'm such a believer in like timing and destiny and how it all plays out. And so it sounds like they were meant to be together. So that's super fun. What's the second thing that the people need to know?
Second thing that I always go for is that I have 2 extra bones. So in each foot, I have an extra bone. It's very common in athletes because I played soccer growing up. It's called accessory navicular. Something with like the ligament, something happens with it, but I technically have 2 extra bones in my feet.
That's right. And I remember us when we talked about this. Does it make you run faster or make you a better athlete?
It was my little secret. It was my secret thing for soccer. My superpower.
That's right. That's right. She's superhuman.
Yeah.
How do you find out about that?
It was hurting me when I was younger. Like every so often, if I'm wearing the wrong shoe and it's like hitting the bone, it was bothering me. I was gonna get surgery on it. A lot of people get surgery on it, but I kind of just dealt with the pain. High tolerance for pain.
Push through.
Yeah, because the recovery is pretty long, and I couldn't imagine taking.
We don't have time for that.
We don't.
And what's the third thing? Yes. What's the third thing that people need to know?
Okay, so growing up, I was watching the show Kids Say or Kids Do the Darnest Thing. And I saw this girl like go on and he asked like, "What do you do?" And she's like, "I could bend my finger all the way back." And like she bent her finger all the way back and it was able to touch. I can't do it anymore because I stopped practicing, but I can if I keep doing it like every day for a
Stretch.
week. So I was like, I'm gonna be able to put my finger all the way back because I want that to be like something that I could do that no one else can. And I literally in like 2 weeks was able to do it. So that was like a
I
cool thing that I used to show my friends. I could put my finger all the way back. Look.
I love
Yeah.
this goal you set for yourself. Like I can
Yeah.
appreciate
I was
anybody
like,
who sets big goals for themselves. And you were
yeah.
like, look, I'm going to work, stretch out my finger every day until I reach this goal. And like, I appreciate that mindset.
Right. Like you gotta do what you gotta do. I think I was like in second or third grade, so really
Oh,
motivated from such a
yes.
young age.
Apparently so. Well, thank you, Calliope, for sharing those three things. You kind of are superhuman. You got extra bones in your feet. You can bend. You're like Elastigirl
Right?
from The
Yeah.
Incredibles. Like, so let's go ahead. I want to talk to you. Can you share a little bit of your background? So I know that you work with CycleBar, but did you work in fitness previously to that? Where did you go to college? Like, what does that kind of look like to where it kind of got you today?
So I played soccer at Old Westbury, which is in Long Island, and also transferred to FIT to play soccer there. But I didn't end up playing soccer there because that's when depression started. Um, but I ended up doing hair and, making a living out of hair. While I was in beauty school, I got a really bad neck injury. So during that, I had to take some time off. And once I was able to, come back after 6 months, I just woke up one day and I couldn't move my neck. Once I was able to
Jeez.
like come back, I just said like, fitness is going to be my career, and I started Pilates at SLT, which I'm actually back teaching on the reform right now, which is
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Like a full circle, yeah.
Yeah. And how long have you
Yeah.
been with Cycle Bar? You've been with 6
I'm going on 6 years.
years. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Going on
long
six
time.
years. Yeah. I
So
found Cycle Bar my second year in fitness. But I always like went to the gym and whatnot because of being an
yeah.
athlete.
So
Yeah.
you had shared that when you were in college, was it when you were in college? When did you kind of first realize that you were struggling with depression,
Right.
um, or anxiety, whatever it was that you were kind of dealing with?
I think that my eating disorder triggered it. I kind of knew my whole life that something was like off. Um, Especially like, comparing myself to my sister. Like I didn't show it, but I was always a little like darker and very like not open at all. I acted like I was very tough, like nothing could phase me or bother me. You never saw me crying, like I would do all that alone. But I think once I had my eating disorder from as little as I can remember being in like elementary school,
Oh,
just because, I grew up around like my sister was a little overweight, so they had to put her on like different like kind of diets back then, because she'd have like cholesterol and stuff. Nothing crazy, like she wasn't huge or anything, but the doctor did say like you have to just watch because of her cholesterol. So
hmm.
I was just, I think, because I grew up hearing that, I was always very cautious and afraid of gaining a pound.
Yeah,
I remember being like 8 years old and not finishing chicken fingers and just saying I was
yeah,
full because I didn't want to like overeat or gain weight. So it was just like around and not on purpose. Like my mom had no idea that I was listening to that or paying attention to that, which is why now with all my younger cousins and whoever, like I always try to tell the parents to be like very cautious about what they're saying, even if they're talking about themselves. Like, oh, I'm on a diet. Like it's just
yeah.
not okay. Like I remember my best friend at the time. We were literally in elementary school and like she was on a diet. She was telling people she was on a diet and trying to
Yeah.
lose weight. I'm like, that's like not okay. But again, like that was my best friend back then. So I was hearing, oh, she has to be on a diet. So I have to be on a diet because like she
Yeah.
can't be skinnier than me. I have to be the skinniest one. And
Yeah.
no one thought that of me. That's just how I felt because I grew up around it. So
Right.
I always knew like there was a little like darkness or something going on. I get that from my dad, my dad's side. But I want to say that when I was finally able to like reach out to somebody, I actually reached out to my cousin who I got really close with, who's a little older than me. I think I was afraid to tell my sister things because she was just so, like, to me, she was like an angel. So I think I was like
Yeah.
afraid to tell her like I'm not okay. But like,
Yeah.
and she wasn't okay either. But I never was able to talk to her about that stuff. So I spoke to
Yeah.
my cousin because when I was in beauty school, so this was when I was like 18 or 19, I started not holding my food in. I was forcing myself to throw up. And I
Yeah.
think when I got like really bad in that point, that's when I got scared. Like
Yeah.
I got like nervous, I got scared, and like that's when all my depression was starting too. So I told my cousin because it was all I could think about was just like I was miserable. I stopped showing up for school. I was just like hiding in a room for literally 2.5 weeks. There's a lot of stuff going on. My dad was sick at the time. My brother had surgery on his leg. So it was like I was also taking care of like working at the restaurants and whatnot, but I never shared that I was feeling this way. And one day I just kind
Yeah.
of locked myself in my room and like didn't come down. I was like, "What's like? Are you okay?" Like they didn't realize it, and eventually I wrote a note. My cousin told me to write a note, so I wrote a note to my mom just saying that like
Mhm.
I need help. Um, and then seeing somebody, obviously an eating disorder stems from other things. It's not necessarily always like, hey, I have to be skinny. It was really just things that I was dealing with internally that I
Mhm.
couldn't hold in. So I either wanted to get rid of it or, I always had something else to focus on instead of focusing on what was actually going on in my mind.
Yeah.
So speaking to somebody really helped. So I was like 18 or 19 at the time.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I think that, as I had shared at the beginning, I think that people are going through things that we don't even realize. And it can be so
Yeah.
easy to kind of put up a front and a face and not know what's going on behind closed doors or what's going on in somebody's mind. And I really like commend you for having the courage to reach out for help and would encourage anybody who's listening who struggles on any level with depression or anxiety or just something doesn't feel right or they're not feeling the joy in the world that, they feel empowered to reach out to somebody and let them know. And good for you for reaching out to your cousin. And and then too that your cousin recommended that you write a letter. What a nice way to be able to put it down on paper without the pressure and like the anxiety I would think that comes with confrontation and having to kind of talk through that. So I
Well,
think that that's a really great idea.
I like talking about anxiety too. I think the two go hand in hand. I think people don't really know um, when they're anxious. They don't know when they're nervous. They don't know when they're upset always. Like my body, I always had stomach issues, and it was my anxiety forming up in a different way. Even with my neck, I always feel like it was my depression forming up in a different way with my neck injury. Like, there's no reasoning behind it. I literally woke up and I couldn't move out of my bed. And it's almost like, it's your body like screaming for help because you can't vocally say it. So I think it's just good to have awareness around like anxiety and depression and knowing that it's different for everyone and what you feel is valid. Like I think I felt guilty. Like I was like, why am I not okay? Like even back then, I'm like, I'm popular. Like I'm on Kickline. I'm on soccer. Like I have a good family. I have good parents. Like I have a good sister. Like I get what I want. Why do I feel like this? Like why is something still empty? And it's simply because I didn't speak about what I was feeling and I had no idea who I really was inside. And it's sad that people at a young age go through that.
Yeah. You hit on two really big points that I completely agree with. And the first being that I believe that stress, depression, anxiety manifests itself in physical illnesses and in physical ways, whether it's GI issues or muscle issues or aches and pains, headaches, like all of the things. And we're always looking for solutions with Tylenol, or what am I eating? And it's like, well, what are we not addressing that's happening,
Yeah.
maybe in your head, and talking about it. So I completely agree with that. And then too, you mentioning that you almost feel guilty, or you feel like, why should I feel this way, because everything is fine. And I know I have not dealt with depression necessarily, but I've definitely dealt with anxiety, and it's always hard for me to understand, like, why am I so anxious? Like, I'm safe, I'm good, like, I'm fine, life is good, so why do I feel like I'm about to lose my mind in this moment? And I remember talking to a therapist myself once, and her sharing that your brain is just working in a different way, like, and she was like, what if I told you that it's out of your control, that this is just another form of an illness, and it's not that you're overthinking it or you're overreacting, you can't help it. And it was like, that was like the most comforting confirmation that I got, because I was like, okay, it was like permission to feel this way, and then we can move forward from it. So I really resonate with you with that, and I think that those are two really great points.
My therapist had brought up, because at the time when I was going, I really wasn't sleeping. I was kind of an insomniac, like all through high school and in that time. And she brought up, one, back then, taking melatonin, which wasn't as common as it is now. And two, like, she obviously was willing to give me some type of medication for whether it was for anxiety or depression. I can't really remember. And I hesitated so much. And even last year, when my depression came back, which I had no idea I was depressed, like, I definitely showed signs of depression. And you would think that at the time, my partner or my husband at the time, or, somebody would like realize it, but you can't blame people. Um, I was thinking about, taking medication again. And then I just feel like, my father's on medication for depression. A lot of people are for anxiety and whatever. There's nothing
Mm-hmm.
wrong with it, but I feel like I've trained my mind like so much in the last few years, especially just like cycle bar and like helping people and doing this. And it's like, I'm not against it. I just want to try my best to always do whatever I can before going to it. And
Mm-hmm.
if I ever need to go on it one day, I will. It's fine. Like, you are
Yeah.
on medication, but something my doctor said that resonated kind of with what yours said was, she was like, if you had low blood pressure, right, and your blood pressure kept dropping, you're going to get prescribed medication, right? You're not just going to let it keep dropping. That's dangerous. She's like, it's the same thing. There's something wired inside of you where you just need medication, and there's a reason why we have it.
Right.
And this can help. And I can't imagine a life that I don't have to fight it every day. But you know
Yes.
what? I'm up for the challenge. And if one day I can't do it, then I will turn, for it. But I like to start with these little steps, which is just even
Yeah.
opening up about it, like I have in the last few
Yeah.
several years, and just talking about it more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're exactly right. And with you saying, like, about that, like, not having to worry about it every day, and that being, your therapist's point. I remember my therapist, I was struggling for a period of time where I was just afraid. I was afraid I was going to die every day, which is a weird, but that's where the anxiety was. Like, if I was going to fly, I was afraid of the plane was going to crash. And I was just like worried. Like, I just had this overwhelming fear of death, was kind of like at this front of my mind. And I remember my therapist being like, what if you didn't have that thought every day? And I was like, there's an option to not have it. And that's when
Yeah.
I first got on anxiety medicine. And I've been on it ever since. Actually, I was on it, then I stopped for a little bit, then I spiraled again. And I was like, okay, like, I knew that
Yeah.
I needed it. And so now I take it every day. And it's great because I'm not afraid of death every single day now. But yeah, to your point, it's like, there are solutions and options out there if that's like the point that you get to. And I know too, in myself, like, have learned a lot of like different techniques and things that have helped, so that maybe I need less medication than I do at some point or another. But I would love to kind of hear from you about some of the different methods or tips that your therapist has maybe shared with you, to help manage and get through this, with or without medication.
Yeah. So one of my favorite things was this exercise that we did, um, where she made you close your eyes, and she said, imagine a river. So you close your eyes, you imagine a river. And on this river, you see like some green things, you see lily pads, you see some fish swimming, and on the lily pads there's some frogs jumping. And she said, imagine that you're seeing a lily pad and you could take whatever thought that it is and place it on that lily pad. And then I want you to watch it and watch it drift away. And then it's gone. And then you just let it go. And you physically see what's harming you and what's eating you alive float down the river. And it really helped with me because I was the type of person, and even now, like, I still see triggers where it comes back, but I would think about something nonstop. Like, I would
Yeah.
obsess over
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
Like, if I was
Same.
having a conversation, my sister would be like, "You're still thinking about what happened the other day with X, Y, and Z and this and that?
Right.
Like, how are you
Right.
still thinking that?" Like, and like, it's eating me alive. I'm not sleeping over it. Like, I couldn't turn
Yeah.
off my brain. That's what I always say. I can't turn off my brain. And I found different ways to do that, but and it's okay to not be able to. It's okay that sometimes you have to sit down and watch Netflix to be able to let go, or listen to a
Yeah.
podcast instead of being your thoughts. But I think a true sign of healing, and there are moments where I'm there and it feels amazing, and there's moments that I'm not, is when, like, you could sit in the silence and you're okay. Like,
Yeah.
you're just present. It's a hard place to be, but it's like when you get there, and even if it's temporary, it feels very successful. It
Yeah.
feels free.
Totally. It's I think to your point, it's like training your body the same way we work out on a regular basis. We have to work on the mind as well and do these different activities, mindfulness, meditation, practicing letting go of thoughts. And it's not something that like I truly don't think you can just do it once in a while. If you want to get good at it, you have to like practice that skill and that technique as often as possible to help make sure that you can maximize its efficiency. Just I know in my experience with that, but I love that visualization of like
Yeah,
the lily pad going. I've heard too like clouds drifting by with like your thoughts
right.
and and things that you want to kind of let go. So I think that that's really nice. So you have a new project on Instagram right now, Wildflower Within You. I know your main account, you have 20,000 followers and you started this new account, which is where like my interest was piqued and I was like, what's happening over here with Calliope? What's going on here? And I know for you, it became kind of an unfiltered space where you could just be really honest about these types of things and what is going on. Can you tell me just a little bit about what inspired that and kind of what you want to do with it or your plans with it?
Yeah. So I went through a divorce. I'm going through a divorce, but it's just all happening in the last like 2 years.
Sure.
And I just think that on my personal Instagram, I feel like there's just so many people that I get not I guess I get a little anxiety over it. I always have my up and downs with sharing on that. Like, I was really big when influencing like first came out, like 2016, 2017. Like, I really was like doing it every day. And I don't know, sometimes I just get a little like everyone, like, whoa, I feel like I'm just sharing so much, and it's always back and forth. And right
I
now
have
I feel
felt
in a
that.
place,
Yes.
yeah, it's always back and forth. Like, one day I'm like 100%, like, let's go. I was working for a company for a while and I was selling on that platform, and I made a lot of money doing it. Like, and it was during
Yeah.
COVID, so it was so helpful, but I was sharing so much and it felt good. And I don't know, there's always ups and downs, and some people would make me feel a different way about it and I wouldn't want to do it. Like, the most important person who should be supporting you, like, kind of said the comment, and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to stop. So I just always go up and
Yeah.
down. So right now I was in a place where it's like, I want to share, and I know that there's a lot of people that, they come up to me after class and they're just like, I come here just for, like, your connect song, or that's like,
Yeah.
where we open up a little more. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to share more. So I just feel like I have a message to send. I feel like I'm fairly young and have gone through so much. I just want people to realize they're not alone. So that's why I created this page. It's a little like all over the place. Like, I'm up and down. I take weekends off from it. I go on it when I really need it, and the people that are following it are just people that need a little extra hand, I guess.
Mhm.
And I just want to share more about, just so people can see it's like you're not alone. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of people people don't realize that I've gone through everything that I've gone through. And when you have like a powerful following, or even there's only like 300 or 400 people following it, I don't even know, but those people saw me in a different light. And now I feel like when you step into a new light and they see all of that, they kind of get to say, wow, like you think that everything was okay. You thought everything was picture perfect with her marriage, with whatever it was. And now you get to hear all these things. And even people that knew me in high school, I feel like it's just important for people to realize, like, maybe they can help their future kids or their nephews and nieces, and just talk more awareness about anxiety, depression, eating disorders, everything. So
Yeah.
divorce, like, I feel like there's not a lot
Yeah.
of talk about that stuff. So
Yeah.
it's just an authentic page where I feel safe. Maybe one day I'll make it public, but right now it's private. Not a woman
Yeah.
following.
Oh, I love it. So it's women only right now?
Right now, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think I might have a few guys in it, but
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Hey, we
like
need
two
our
knows
space. We
it.
need our space. And
Yeah,
we do. And I think too, with like a page like this, to your point, like it validates those feelings for other people as well, maybe who feel like, why should I feel this way, like everything is good. So you're just like giving them a safe space to feel it as well. To your point, like when writers come up to you after class and they're like, I'm here because I needed that message today. And you wanting to share that message even more and giving people that safe space, not only
yeah.
when they're riding a bike but throughout everyday life, I think is really beautiful. Do you have any future goals with it, or right now is it just, this is just a space right now and let's see what happens with it?
I would love for it to grow into something more. I give myself so much space. Like, I don't put pressure on myself, especially for something that I'm very passionate about. So it's like, if you don't do it one day, it's okay. Like, I don't want it to
Yeah.
be something that I feel like I have to show up on every day, but when I have something to say, it's there. But I do see it turning into something more, even if it's something small where, we have small gatherings, or, some accessories with like quotes on it.
Yeah.
I just try to take it day by day and, kind of see where it heads. But I try not to put pressure on myself for it, or else I feel like I become very obsessed with being like perfect. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
not make it that. Like, I'm
Yeah, I
trying to
relate
be
to
like,
that.
okay, like, it doesn't have to be amazing. It could
Yeah.
be little. It could be small.
I
So we'll
think that
see.
that's really nice. That's beautiful. So I know some of the conversations that you have on that page are just some little tips that you work in to have a more positive life. I know I've like heard you talk about like removing toxic people from your life, and then I've talked to you about like how you've, in my opinion, do well with like taking space off your phone, or like you said, not being on that account for like the whole weekend. So what are just like a couple tips, if you have any off the top of your head, that you've implemented in your life just to be more protective of your time and space and live a more positive life?
Right. One, I use Do Not Disturb a lot on my phone. I
Mm.
Especially, I mean, like, you used to work with me and we used to talk 24/7, and now you probably see
Yes.
the communication, like, how much worse it is.
Yes.
And that comes with me being a perfectionist. Like, I try to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because even, with working at the studio that I'm at now, I feel like I let so many people in, and I literally, like, I feel like it's like too many people where you give your energy too much to people and then you have
Yeah.
nothing left for yourself. So I
Yeah.
try to be very cautious. Like, I will literally, if I send a message that I don't want to look at right away, or it kind of stresses me out, if I have to text my ex, whatever it is,
Yeah.
I'll put them specifically on Do Not Disturb. That way I can go into messages when I want to and
Yeah.
read the message. Like, there's
Yeah.
very like weird things along that way where, like, it's almost like you're in control of it, because for so long
Yeah.
I felt out of control, where now I allow myself to be in control of what I let in,
Yeah.
and what I can give out.
Yeah.
So definitely learning how to just place the phone down,
Yep.
here and there, um, and being very cautious of who you're giving your energy to. Another thing is I still allow myself space to just shut down. I think and it doesn't have to be a negative thing. Like,
Mhm.
I need a day sometimes to just lay down, watch Netflix, and
Yeah.
literally your brain turns off. And
Yeah.
it's okay. Close the shades, go under the blanket. It's fine. But then I
Yeah.
make sure the next day that I go and have coffee with someone, or I FaceTime my friend for at least an hour when I want to get back in that zone. Like, I make sure that I find a way to get out of it.
Yeah.
Um, but I allow myself to go in that space because I am I am still dealing with depression. Like, it's still inside
Yeah.
of you. It never leaves you. You learn how to
Yeah.
fight it. I'm not taking medication or anxiety medication, so I have to allow myself to just live with it. And I
Mhm.
try to turn it more into a positive. Like, I earned this space. I chose this lifestyle. I can sit on my couch all day till tomorrow, and it's
Yeah.
safe. It's okay. It's not
Yeah.
unhealthy. If I'm doing it
Yeah.
like I was the last 2 years, for every single day. I would literally wake up, teach a 6 a. I would wake up to work out at 4 a.m. so I didn't have to work out later. Teach a
Yeah.
6 a.m. at class. Come home, stay in the dark until the
Yeah.
next day.
Yeah.
Like, that's not living. That's
Right.
just you're dead at
Yeah.
that point. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
So allowing yourself that time
Yeah.
and
I think
balance.
to your point too, it's like the ability and the awareness around having to then make sure that you're productive or you're back into the world the next day. I totally
Yeah.
agree. Like it's you got to have these days to do like
Yeah.
nothing and like lay around. I totally relate to that. I think because life can get so busy and chaotic, and I was kind of connecting with you about that before the call even started about how like I need a day. Like I just need
Yeah.
a day. And so you have to do that. But then to your point, like you have to be able to get yourself out of it the next day or like get back to it. Like you can't stay there forever.
And you could be honest about it. Like, I have friends that I'm comfortable with that I just literally text and I'm like, I'm in depressed mode, like I'm in bed, like come over,
Yeah.
or like, can I come over? Like, I need to
Yeah.
get out of bed today. And they're like, it's okay. Yesterday was your depressed day. Now you come out. Like,
Yeah.
just honesty, like living up
Yeah.
to it. Like, I was a little down yesterday. There's nothing wrong with that. Or like when
Right.
you are anxious, like when things start eating me alive, I call my best friend and I'm like, "Do you think it's okay?" Like, I'm like, "I can't get over it. I keep thinking about it. Are you sure I'm okay?" And
Yeah.
she's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine. Like, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Go call them, talk about it." And, like, you got like I never was in that place ever
Yeah.
where I would share those things.
Yeah, we have a book. It's called Ruby Finds a Worry or Has a Worry, one of that. And it's about this little girl who's dealing with kind of worry, anxiety, and the idea of the book is that when you talk about it with people, the worry becomes less. So I think to
Right.
your point, having people that you can call to and share when you're in that mode or you're like, yo, like I'm in this space, can you help me out? I think it's so good to have those friends. And then really, I wanted to go back to even your point about the phone. I think of the phone can be such a big trigger that people don't realize because we are constantly getting notifications, whether it's emails, text messages, phone calls, work, friends, family, social media. Like it never stops. And I know myself as recently as like the last 5 days, I'm like, whoa, there's too much phone happening in my life. And even like conversations and just again it's like the energy supply is not endless, and then so I know I myself am trying really hard to just put the phone down more and just be present even with my family, my daughter, my husband, because the phone is designed to ping you 24/7 and that can be a
When
real
you wake up,
trigger.
you use it as your alarm?
I don't, only because
Okay.
I wake up to a light because sound, I don't like being startled because that
Yes.
triggers anxiety from the morning. So I have a light. I have
I
the phone
just
as my second
discovered
backup, but I don't.
Yeah, I just discovered sleep mode on the phone,
Oh,
and it has calm alarms.
that's
So this
right.
last month I changed it, and the alarm is like when I wake up, I literally feel like I'm like levitating out of the bed. Like it's like
Yes.
good morning. morning. Like,
It's like
it's
kind of
so
like
different.
like the wind chimes or something, isn't it? It's like
Yeah,
softer. I think I've
like
heard
your
it. Yeah.
heart. Sometimes I sleep through it, but it's fine. Like, but your heart is like, I would wake up with my heart pounding to the alarms, and I'm
Yes.
snoozing like for 2 hours. I'm like every 2 seconds. So sleep mode is it's good.
Yes.
I have it
That's good.
automatic. 10:30 p.m. my phone goes sleep mode, or 9:30.
Yeah.
I don't get notifications. Like I'll look before I go to bed,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
gets automatically turned on.
Yeah. I think that's smart. And I know too, there are like people have worked, and I've tried, I go back and forth in my life with like, okay, the alarm goes off. Like, you don't need to look at your phone the first thing in the morning. You don't need to scroll. You don't need to check text messages. You don't need to respond to people right away. Like, you can
Yeah.
take 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, however much time you need. And it's just such a habit. I think like so many people roll over, grab the phone, and start
They're
getting on
very
it.
unpresent. They're very
Yeah.
unpresent, especially TikTok and whatever. I don't do TikTok,
Yeah.
but like in my
Yeah.
last relationship, I was always just someone was scrolling, scroll. I'm like, dude, like,
I know
like
about that. Yeah.
talking to you, like put it
Yeah.
down. I'm not coming on the walk if you don't put it down. Like
Yes.
it could ruin like friendships and whatever. Like you got to learn
Yeah.
how to turn it off.
Yeah. It's addictive. I think it's really addictive.
Yeah.
Well, perfect. So I like to close every show with just some final words of wisdom. If there's anything, Calliope, that you could share with the people listening, you've shared so much amazing stuff that I think will be really helpful for a lot of listeners. But if you had one last thing to say, what would you share?
My dad growing up, he always said, if you don't respect yourself, how do you expect others to respect you? And I think along this growth journey, I've kind of changed it to love. If you don't love
Mm,
yourself, how do
yeah.
you expect others to love you? So just really learning how to love yourself, every part of it, the darkness, the good, the bad, all of it.
I think that that's beautiful and great advice. And loving yourself, too, to your point, I think means taking care of yourself, admitting you need help when you do, recognizing that, and understanding in your worth. So thank you. I think that's an awesome way to leave this. Calliope, I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming back on again. If
Thank you.
anybody,
Thanks for having me.
yes, if anybody feels like, they need help, don't be afraid to reach out with whatever you're going through. Your feelings are valid, and I just hope that everybody who listens has a great day, because you deserve it.